to the show. This is your host, Coffinbrood. Today, I am sitting at 1,800 subs. I'm so excited that I've made it to 1,800. So excited and thrilled by all of the warm comments that I get and all of the support. And looks like I will be reaching my goal of making it to 2,000 subs before the end of the year, just as I had hoped for. So if you like my content, please continue to go ahead and share and like and comment and all of that. And yeah, let's get on with today's stories. This story is going to be a long one. I would understand completely if you don't believe it, because I am a skeptical type of person. Though, if you like creepy stories, bear with me. My sister and I talked about this event not even a week ago, and we both remember the same stuff. She is the most honest person in the world, doesn't take any medications or have any mental problems. This is a true story, believe it or not. This happened 7 years ago. I was 17. She was 21. We were both living with our parents at the time. My room was upstairs, close to my parents, and my sister's room was in the basement. I heard my sister screaming to death one night. I heard my mom rushing downstairs to see what was going on. I stayed awake for a couple of minutes until I heard my mom and my sister coming up the stairs. My sister slept in the loft that night, so I assumed she had a nightmare or something, and I went straight back to sleep. She told me what had happened the next day, and that she felt something while sleeping, a strange feeling, so she opened her eyes. Her bed was right beside her walk-in closet, and a man was in a squat position. He was staring directly at her from that closet. She kept staring at him in fear, and her reflex was obvious to scream and crawl in her bed as far away from that closet until he gradually disappeared. My mom came in right after. She slept for about 5 weeks in the loft, saying that she didn't dream or hallucinate, and she was too scared to ever go back in her room. Sadly, my parents and I had a hard time believing that a so-called ghost, quote-unquote, was in her closet. We thought that she dreamed it and panicked when she woke up. My parents suggested her to seek treatment with a therapist to help her overcome her fear, which she did. My mother always accompanied her to her appointments. After a while, she decided to try sleeping in her room. She asked my mom to sleep with her that night. And as you would guess, she woke up screaming in fear. My mom saw her jumping off of her bed, crawling backwards toward a wall, saying, "Leave me alone! Leave me a fucking alone!" I could hear the screaming downstairs. I didn't understand what my sister yelled, but that's what woke me up. And able to hear my mom screaming to death, "Who's this? Who's this? Leave my daughter alone. Go away." Gotta admit, I almost shit my pants that night. My sister went back to the loft and I wasn't able to. I didn't sleep really well either. She said the day after that the same guy was staring at her again, and when she jumped off the bed, the man was trying to reach her, chasing her in some way. She said it only stopped when my mom opened the light. I wasn't home when she came to my place, but my mom told me that her friend felt strange right from the doorstep. The medium had to convince her assistant to go inside. She told my mom that she would start with my room on the second floor. They purified the closet, closed the door, purified the room, closed the door, then purified the bathroom, closed the door, etc. I'm not sure what a medium is going to do with a stalker hiding in your closet. Obviously, there is a guy hiding in the closet. This is not a ghost story, just so you know. They did all of their medium stuff, and they left all the rooms in the house and kept my sister's room for the end. The medium felt his presence when she walked into the closet. She asked him to leave passively. She felt that the man liked my sister and the house, that he didn't want to leave and didn't want to scare her either. The medium forced him to leave. Sure she did. My dad is as skeptical as me, and this is why I believe all of this. He told me that he saw the laundry racks moving when she forced him to leave. My mother said the same. We were all ghost non-believers before this, but now, let me tell you, we believe in ghosts. Creepiest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, again, you believe in ghosts, but there was no ghost in your house. There was a man, a living flesh and blood man, hiding in your sister's closet. It wasn't a fucking ghost. When I was 17, my mom got me an apartment because her and her husband were moving across the country, and I was only a few months away from finishing high school, so she gave me the choice to stay. So I'm living alone for the first time, and someone knocks on the door at 9 or 10 p.m. I open it, and this dude is standing there looking high as hell, and he just says, "Are you alone?" I don't even know what I was thinking. I literally told him yes, like some idiot, and he starts pushing on the door to come in. So I start pushing back and put my full weight on the door, and he tried to get his foot in to stop it, but I just kept pushing, and I slammed it shut. Thankfully, this apartment had doors that locked when they shut because he literally immediately started trying to open it again. I wouldn't have had much time to lock it up. I could hear him mumbling outside the door for a bit afterwards. I never called the cops because CW, sexual assault. After I was raped, I got arrested and was strip searched by 3 cops, so I was too scared to call them. I didn't sleep well for months. I was on a road trip with friends in college to Florida for spring break. We stopped at a gas station in a city about 6 hours from where I lived. Safe to say, I'd never been there before. As I was walking around the store buying snacks, I noticed a man about 40 who was seemingly anxious looking at me from time to time, almost as if he wanted to say something but was unsure. Me, not afraid to talk to anyone, said a quick, "Hey man," to him. He relaxed, smiled, and called me by my first name. I was stunned. Not only had I never seen this man in my life, but at this time, I went by my middle name. Only a few people knew my actual first name, and not even family called me it. I hid my shock and asked if I knew him, and he told me no. But when I asked him how he knew my name, he could not tell me. He looked almost shaken, as if he was as disturbed as I was. I looked a few minutes and talked to him, and through the conversation, he was able to recall specific details about me, my life, and my family. Details and stories that few people would know, like that when I was 8, I had a gerbil that died, or that I have reoccurring dreams of a mall with an arcade in it, including specifics about it. He told me that he just sometimes knows things about people and has no idea how or why, but he knew I was going to be okay. Needless to say, I was very creeped out by this and went out to get my friend so he could see too. Now, he was standing outside the building and no one left as I just poked my head out the door. When we went back in, the man had seemingly vanished. I asked the clerk and he said he did not see any other than me in the store. So I live in Iraq, and in Mosul specifically. I was 13 years old, and one day my mother sent me to the grocery store to bring home some simple things. And on my way to the store in the middle of the afternoon, from afar I saw a tall man with a long beard and a shaved mustache. He was a person who looked like an ISIS member. I'm not kidding. They were spread out in Mosul at the time. When I approached the man, he opened the trunk of his car and asked me to help him carry his things. I have never seen this man in my neighborhood, and certainly, like any child, my parents told me not to approach anyone I do not know. I told him that I am in a hurry. He looked at me for a while, then said to me, "Come and help me carry my stuff. I cannot do it alone." He was an adult man and wanted help from a 13-year-old child. I knew that I had to escape from here. When I had a chance, I ran quickly, looking for the nearest neighborhood for help. Then I heard him shutting his car trunk forcefully and shouting, "You, come here!" I ran faster, and I saw one of my neighbors that we had known for years, and told him that someone was chasing me. Then we heard the sound of a car moving fast and around our neighborhood. We didn't call the cops because those motherfuckers wouldn't do their job whatsoever. I am now 18 years old, and I am still wondering what would have happened if I got any closer to this person. Could I have been a victim of some sort of CP or something else? I grew up in a town in the southwest. It was like a mix of mountain, desert, forest, and grassland. I was 17 or 18 back then, and I was hanging out with some friends around a bonfire. It was getting late, and my friends started leaving one by one, around like 2 or 3 a.m. It was just me, a friend, and his girlfriend. We were way past our curfew. It was a very small town, so we just walked places instead of driving. We were going to walk my friend's girlfriend back to her house, which was on the outskirts of town. Now there's a highway that goes through town. It's a pretty long U.S. highway with plenty of traffic during the day, especially since Phoenix is just like 5 hours away from said town. But at night, not anywhere near as busy. We were walking along the highway through downtown when a guy that was hiding behind a building begins following us and is about 20 feet behind us. At first we thought he was a tweaker, but he walked like a sober man. We didn't have much to defend ourselves except 2 small dull pocket knives that couldn't even cut through wool. We kept walking down the dark town, praying in our minds. After a few minutes, he put his arm on my friend's girlfriend's shoulder. He said, "What's a lady like you doing now on the streets at this hour? I can give y'all a ride home." We ran off toward the wilderness, hoping to lose him in the streets. We still heard feet trampling the brush, so we ran back to town. We were running out of breath, and he was still after us. Then a man in a car stopped and asked, "I'm headed to Albuquerque, and my GPS had no signal. Can you tell me how to get there?" As soon as the man pulled over, the creep ran away. Once the dude had left, the man said, "I saw you kids running, and I scared, and I wanted to make sure you were okay." We told him what had happened. He called the cops. He stayed with us until the sheriff's department arrived. Since we were not able to call anyone due to being chased, we immediately called our parents, and they came down. After we told our stories to our parents and the cops, I noticed the man was gone. I wonder what would have happened if the man hadn't been driving down the road, or if it had been someone else who didn't care. What did the man want? If you're reading this, Mr. Albuquerque bound guardian angel, thank you. If you're new, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps me out. And if you are already subscribed, welcome back and thank you for subscribing.